I was raised to have a guilt complex, so I feel guilty for everything. I feel guilty for existing. I want to apologize for the coronavirus because it's my fault. I'm the one that started it. I should have never had that corona with Lyme. I feel guilty for having any alcohol at all. My mother once told me I was built to have babies. So I grew up and I had 8 babies. Then my oldest daughter told me I should have never had any kids at all. Her boyfriend says he pities me. I've always had a love for theatrics and the arts and dancing and painting and books and writing. So I was told I could be anything I wanted to be when I grow up. So I decided to become everything. And nothing. All at the same time. I decided to become a creative writer so I could kill people and leave everybody alone. One of my biggest heroes is Stephen King and Tarantino. And the atheist who saved me from the woman on drugs, who didn't know where she was, but she came to Denver just to tell me how much she loved me. She wanted to pound it into my head on the pavement. I decided to rewrite the Bible, and my family told me I couldn't do that. So I told them, yes, I could. I have a black belt in poetry and creative writing. I was told that I look a little bit like a ninja. I was kind of aiming for an Amish person. Someone else told me I look like a female Zorro. It's hard to be me because I'm a homicidal pacifist. But I'm very balanced because for every suicidal thought I have a homicidal thought. It balances out quite well. And then, in the middle, I just pray. I have to watch my sense of humor because some people don't think I'm funny. I got kicked out of 3 bars all at once, proving that I don't need alcohol to be an asshole. I wasn't drinking alcohol and I was still an asshole. Assholes tend to like me. I think I have a neon sign on my invisible sign on my forehead that says, if you're an asshole, I'll be your friend. Jesus was a friend to assholes. He said to be like him. So when I try to be like him, people think I'm crazy. And then they tell me I'm a liar. I had some missionaries knock on my door the other day. They're from South Korea. They wanted to give me good news. They told me that Jesus has been on the earth since 1948 in female form. Good news! Oh God, about time. Anyways, they told me that her name was Jerusalem. I said, oh, well, I've been on the earth since 1968. I thought my name was Yahweh. I'm the baby of my family, so my sense of humor is a little bit on the snarky side. I remember one time I told my older sister that her name spelled backwards was Annoy. She started screaming at me. I don't think she liked that, but I didn't name her. I don't pick out people's names except my own kids. But I don't pick out people's names. But if they have funny names, I might point that out to them. My partner says that I remind him of Larry David. I tend to say the wrong thing at the wrong time, or I just write things that piss people off. I'm surprised that the Ayatollah isn't after me, because I also devised assassination plans for the world powers like the Pope and Putin and Trump and Jong. Pope, Trump, Putin, Jong, and their massive dong. I have a dictator thing with dictators. But anyways, my assassination plans involve brownies when nobody gets killed. They just have to spend a night at my uncle's outhouse after eating my brownies. My brownies have special ingredients in them. It's all organic and it won't kill anybody. One of the ingredients is Oregon Till zucchini. The other ingredient is cannabis. It's legalized over here. And the other ingredient is a good thing I didn't die from a bowel obstruction right before Trump came into office and I had to go to the bathroom. Most days I spend dealing with rocks. I like rocks. And I like rock and roll. And I have a friend whose God is rock and roll. So these days you can make anything your God. Some mornings coffee's my God. I think God must be crazy to have invented any of us at all. Therefore, I think God might be an acronym for a group of drunks. Or a group of dogs. I asked my atheist friend one day, if God were a dog, what kind of a dog would God be? And he thought about it and he goes, a wiener dog. I'm like, oh my God, he said a dog sound. I'm like, that makes so much sense. God's a big wiener dog in the sky. I'm sure if you were to ask a German what kind of a dog God would be, they'd say a German Shepherd. I'm sure if you were to ask someone from Afghanistan what kind of a dog God would be, they might say an Afghan hound. I'm sure if you were to ask a French person, someone from France, what kind of dog God might be, they'd probably say a French poodle, like a big fluffy cloud in the sky. I kind of thought God was more of a mutt. Just a mangy mutt. I really like my cat. She likes me too. But since I like theatrics, my neighbors sometimes probably can't tell if I'm just practicing theater and theatrics or if I'm murdering my cat. My cat's name is Olive. I think of her as a black olive tree, black olive branch, full of black olives. I was thinking about getting another cat and naming it Martini, but then I thought they might get dirty. Christians amuse me. They're mean to me, and they pick on me. Why? I think it's because I was a Sunday school teacher, and I know the Bible really well. That's why I'm rewriting it. It's got some problems in it. One of the problems is I think it was put together by a group of patriarchs who want to erase women. How come Lot's wife doesn't have a name? And did you know Lot had sex with his daughters? That's how he got Jesus. I tell people if they read closely that God was once considering bestiality because he looked through all the animals to find a suitable mate for Adam and none was found. But he was considering it. I wonder if Adam had any say on that. So politics, religion, and sex travel through time like God on a tricycle, like the Trinity and triads. I know these things because I'm a pagan. I was born a pagan. I'm going to die a pagan. I'm part of the earth. It's called like the four seasons. I started off as spring, and then I went into summer. I was born in the fall. And now, after watching the coronavirus news, it's like my winter of discontent all year long, or until this thing is over. I studied the Middle Ages at college. Now I'm in my middle age. I was studying the plagues right before it happened. Again. They say if you ask a Republican about the virus, they'll talk about the virus. But if you ask a Democrat about the virus, they'll talk about Trump. And if you ask Trump about the virus, he'll talk about himself.